Hey, my Legion, how y'all doing? I'm here today to review Private Benjamin through the eyes of a veteran. Now, with Private Benjamin, the one thing as far as that movie's concerned, I saw the TV show. Well, when the movie came out, it was a humongous hit, and I learned it was not made in 1980. It's like, wow. I didn't know it was made that long ago. And I think my mother was going to take my grandmother to see it, and then they didn't go see it. And we didn't get our VCR till much later. And I remember like a year or two later, CBS had the TV show, and I remember seeing the TV show. Now, I didn't see the movie till, what, 85, I think? And I haven't seen it since. And I decided to watch today on Encore on Demand. Because they have like the old movies plus some new ones I'm going to be reviewing. I thought I'd do a separate one because it's Army related, and I thought I'm a veteran, Desert Storm veteran, I'd review that separately. And basically, when I went into basic training, my Army experience, as far as watching movies, are pretty much like Platoon, Private Benjamin, and Stripes. That's about it. I didn't see Full Metal Jacket. Full Metal Jacket came out right around the time I was about to go in the Army, and then that was like, I don't know if I went in the Army. I've seen Full Metal Jacket. Those scenes of the basic training. Oh man! Well, in this movie, it's a very lighthearted look at the Army, and it turns out at the beginning, Goldie Hawn is a very spoiled and privileged young lady. She's like 28 years old, and what happens is she's on a wedding night with Albert Brooks. She'd already been married once, and her parents got her out of that marriage and said the guy was no good. And on their wedding, they show the whole wedding ceremony. On the wedding night, he has sex with her, and he says, "I'm coming," and then he makes a sound like that, and he dies. And then someone says, "Could you please tell me his last word?" And she said, "I'm coming." And that was kind of funny. And then she's real distraught. She's in a hotel room. She leaves. She's in a hotel room. She's on an army radio talk show. And this guy says, "I have a good way for you to get into a job," and stuff like that. He turns out he's an army recruiter. And he sells her a line of shit saying that you can go to Europe and you have private rooms, and if you don't like it, just quit. And sometimes, I hear stories when I was in the army about the recruiters lying to people and stuff like to get them to sign up. No, he lied to her big time, and the recruiter played by Harry Dean Stanton. He went there and it's like, could you wait? And she was still sleeping in the bus, and the one drill sergeant came and tried to wake her up. That was an iconic scene in the movie. I remember that. But they were a lot nicer than I remember in basic training, because they was like, "I'm your drill sergeant," and they all stood outside, and he just addressed everybody. He wanted to get Benjamin. But when I was in the army, they said, "Come the fuck off the bus, move your fat ass." We had to get all our stuff in the barracks as soon as possible, and then they bitched to us when we were in the barracks. It was crazy. I mean, we had to bring out everything. No, we had to bring out all the stuff, and we had to find our stuff and put it in the barracks. It was crazy. And this movie is a lot more lighthearted, but he tells her to throws Private Benjamin pretty much off the bus, and played by Goldie Hawn, and he makes her do push-ups. And you know, the stuff, they get away with a lot of stuff. And there was a scene where he tries to escape, and Eileen Brennan, who's in there, saying, "Private Benjamin, you're not fit to wear this uniform." She said, "No shit," and she's like caught in a barbed wire. And then she said they have a thing where they're marching in the rain, and all the platoons pissed off at her because they all got punished because of her actions. And they said the one drill sergeant said, "See me in the day room," and her parents are right there. Her parents talked to her, said, "Oh, you're just disappointed your father. You went crazy again. We had to tell people you're in a nut house." And they came in. They had her sign. They were going to sign papers for her to leave, and she said, "No, thank you." The whole time I saw it, I was saying, they have a goddamn jukebox in the day room. We never had anything like that. I mean, the most luxurious thing we had, and they had like a library. Books were contraband in the basic training. And they had other stuff. It was just too. It was a very lighthearted but enjoyable and funny part of the movie. And gets to a point where she actually says, "Oh well, I'm going to stick it out." And then she becomes kind of a serious soldier. And then they have war games at the end of the base train. We didn't have that. We had something called the Super Bowl. We had to go through all these different stages of stuff we've learned. Either you passed or you boloed, and then if you double boloed, that's really bad. Along with the final PT test. And they didn't do any of that stuff. And they got away with so much stuff. And Eileen Brennan was in love with this one guy. And she finds out that this one girl who's a brown noser, and there's always a brown noser in the Army, was sleeping with him. And that's probably why it got R-rated, because a little bit of nudity. They showed some stuff, but it's a very clean movie for an R-rated movie. And Eileen Brennan comes back, and she was drunk. She said, "I will get you, Private Benjamin." And she made the whole platoon clean up every ounce of the barracks. And then they played a prank on her, which was pretty funny. And then after that, they leave basic training. And then they're assigned a job. They have to go find out what jobs they are. We didn't have that. Whenever I was in AIT, whenever we were signing up, you picked a job that you wanted. And then AIT, you got trained for that job. And then during permanent party station, you went to that job. So none of that stuff happened when I was in the Army. But this was made in 1980. And I went in 87. And they had, in this movie, they had 6 weeks of base training. We had 8 weeks. And then they extended it to 12 weeks. To include focus more on rifle training. And after that, she goes into like this airborne thing, the Thornburgs, and something happens that does happen a lot, unfortunately, in the military. And then after that, the movie kind of levels out. I don't want to give away. My promise to you guys was never to give away any spoilers, so I'm not going to. But most people don't remember that stuff. That was in the last 45 minutes. The best stuff was in the first hour and 5 minutes. Just like in Full Metal Jacket, even though this movie is no Full Metal Jacket. People remember the stuff in base training, they don't remember the second half of Full Metal Jacket. Some, just like with Private Benjamin, people don't remember the last 45 minutes. They really don't. And it's a good movie. I gave it 8 out of 10. And like I said, people would think it came out in 1980 and then Stripes came out a year later, I think. People would probably think Stripes is like the male equivalent to Private Benjamin. I disagree. I think Biloxi Blues, which I saw in Fort Gordon, Georgia during AIT, is more of a male version of Private Benjamin because that happened in Biloxi, Mississippi. And in this place was, this post that she had base training was in Biloxi, Mississippi too. So, there you go. They got away with a lot of stuff. It's a very lighthearted look at the military. And it wasn't a lot like the stuff I did, except they did like tear gas training and stuff like that. A couple things happened, but most of it was just lighthearted entertainment, but very entertaining. I enjoyed it. I said 8 out of 10, which be with using my 4-star rating system, be 3 stars out of 10. I mean 3 stars out of 4, 3 stars. But I give it 8 out of 10. So there you have it for my review of Private Benjamin through a veteran's eyes. And I haven't seen that movie in a long time. And like, it's weird because Goldie Hawn's peaked from Laughing up to the late 80s. And then I didn't see her that much after that. I mean, like before I went in the Army, I saw she was like in a hippie movie with Peter Sellers called Where's the Girl in My Soup? And she did a body paint thing. I still remember seeing her in Swing Shift and Wildcats. And basically the only time I saw her in the Army was I saw a movie in the AIT called Overboard with her and Kurt Russell. That was a really good one. I liked that. That was very entertaining. The critics hated it, but I liked it. And then in Germany, I rented Protocol. I saw in Protocol. Protocol was cool. I liked Protocol a lot. And then after that, I just saw that after the Army, like a year or two later, she was in some serious thriller called Deceived or something like that, where she played it was more like a real thriller. She played like a real tough chick in that one. Through Touchstone, and it was okay. And pretty much that's basically all I saw of Goldie Hawn. I mean, I saw on cable, I saw Protocol 1 or 2 more times. I saw Wildcats again, but Wildcats didn't hold up like it did in the 80s. So there you have for my review of Private Benjamin, 8 out of 10. And it's through my eyes of a veteran. So until next time, take care, my Legion. Cooking pizza right now, so that should be good.